Get down, everybody. Get your top, Mr. Selector. Shot like this could have never missed.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.
According to Edward Hearn, Shakur Stevenson has ripped a tendon in his hand. Immediate surgery was necessary. He picked up the injury sparring, preparing for his October the 12th date with Joe Cordina defending his WBC lightweight title. It was ready to go, October the 12th. I'm wondering now, do they reshuffle it again and actually just put Beterbiev and Bivol on as the main event on DAZN and also keep it on ESPN? It ran through my mind if Shakur is really injured or it was just a hard sell putting him on as a standalone main event against Joe Cordina in America. Shakur, he won't be available until the new year, is what Eddie Hearn is saying. And if possible, they'll just go straight into the mandatory with William Zepeda. Good luck with that. Zepeda hasn't fancied that fight for a minute, so good luck with that. But Oscar will have turkey breathing down his neck right now, just like all the other promoters. Won't be able to get the likes of Zepeda out of tough fights no more. What about poor Joe Cordina? Surely they're going to get him an opponent and keep him on the card. We would have wasted the whole training camp.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
So good news for fight fans. Latino Nights, November the 16th, could be subscription based if you have a DAZN package. No pay-per-view. So it will take place in Saudi Arabia, where Chris Billiam Smith, the WBO Cruiserweight Champion, 20-1, 13 inside the distance, takes on the 46-1, 30 inside the distance, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, the WBA Champion, in what will be a unification. The card will be billed as Latino Nights. The main event will pit Boxer from the UK against Golden Boy. And this is what we want, is the promotions working in unison. Now, some people are going to say the card isn't stacked, but it is actually a stacked card. Like, one Carlos Ramirez, former unified champion against Arnold Barboza, who was very lucky to keep his unbeaten record last time out against the Irish lad. Oscar Duarte against Kenneth Sims Jr., that's a good fight. Oscar Collazo versus Edwin Carlos Hernandez, and Zepeda versus Tevin Farmer. And the Saudis have took heed to the suggestions, obviously. 5-fight card. Haven't overstacked it with a load of 4-round prelim fights and 6-rounders. Have done a very good job here. I know there's going to be the inevitable, I don't rate the card, but how much people can put a card on like that without putting it behind a paywall? PBC have put way worse cards and made them pay-per-view.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.
Gonna say anything.
Oh, Harlem, this is a huge fight. This is a huge fight for Adam. This is a huge fight for you. You're here because you bring a name. You're one of the biggest names in British boxing.
Yeah,
we're going to sell out the Copper Box on October the 19th. That's not just down to Adam Azim, that's down to you. This is a fight that you believe you can win. This is a fight that he believes he can win. Harlem Eubank didn't want to fight Adam Azim. You did.
Benjamin just throwing Harlem under the bus. He didn't want the fight. Adam Azim said the same thing. Where's Chris Eubank, supposedly Harlem's manager? He's supposedly now taking more of a backseat role, which does what for Harlem? You know, seems to me that Eubank Sr. used Harlem to get back at his son when his son said he no longer wanted him in his camp, declaring that Harlem is now his son when Harlem's old man passed away, a former pro boxer himself. But what Chris has to realize is that Harlem is in his 30s now and he has a career. It's all right, Chris saying he's Harlem's manager for the camera all dressed up, giving us some Byron poetry, you doing your one-man show routine. Harlem is no one doing damage control for him to tell his side of it. Did he walk away from it or was Ben Shalom using him? Adam Azim, O'Hara Davies are announcing their fight. What's Harlem doing? He signed a new deal with Wasserman. I didn't realize he left Wasserman. But according to Ben Shalom, Adam Azim and O'Hara Davies have sold out the Copper Box Arena. That's big. That's big. I'm not mad at the fight at all. I'm not expecting OHARA to win, but I'm not mad at the fight. If Azim does what he's supposed to do, it would be a well-executed exercise in terms of PR. I genuinely thought that HARLEM, EUBANK Sr., Ben Shalom, and Adam Azim were all in it together, trying to contrive this fake fight to explain why they're dodging Dalton Smith so hard. But if it is true, and EUBANK Sr. and HARLEM thought there was an actual fight happening, well, both of them never had their thinking caps on. Let's keep it real. Anyone with half a brain could see what was happening a mile off. A mile off.
How'd you get into this spot? You played yourself.
If you don't want me to say what I feel like I want to say, you go get another fighter. But when you say I'm going to get OHARA Davies on my show, you know I talk shit, you know I'm not respectful, so don't try to get me in a box. I say what the fuck I want to say.
You see, this is why they've got OHARA there. He wasn't disrespectful to Adam Azim. It seems that they're friends of sorts. Adam Azim, not really a personality. So they brought OHARA in to give it the rah-rah. OHARA was going at the media for not having his back after he lost against Barroso and any other grievances he had with them. He was going at Ben Shalom for telling him to say something to Adam to try and stir him up. He didn't want to do that, so he started throwing shots at Ben. Ben Shalom himself, he can't really talk up the fighters on Boxer like that. So OHARA was brought in for a specific purpose. This is something HARLEM EUBANK doesn't specialize in. OHARA can talk, although in saying that, when OHARA talks a whole lot before a fight, we can almost guarantee he's going to underperform.
And when you lie and you talk a lot, people tell you to step off a lot.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
So, with 11 days to go, when Joshua challenges Daniel Dubois for the IBF heavyweight title, this sparring story has ran on and on and on for 8 years. But in an interview with TalkSport, Anthony Fowler recalled the fabled 2016 spar where Joshua was buzzed by an 18-year-old Dubois. They were sparring normally. Dubois was really young, so he wasn't really trying to win the rounds. I wouldn't say he was in survival mode, but he wouldn't take any risks. He was very cagey sparring Joshua, obviously. Joshua was the main man on the team, so he was always quite wary. But he always punched really hard. Joshua must have been a little clumsy sparring him, and he got caught with a short left hook, and Joshua's legs completely went. Dubois could have hit him again and put him to sleep. Dubois had a bit too much respect for him to finish him off. Obviously, everyone stood there like, wow, and Joshua went and jogged around the ring because his legs were gone, like jelly, and he was trying to get his legs back. Everybody was going, wait. Joshua wanted to carry on, but Rob McCracken was like, have a little break, get your legs back to normal, and then spar. And then they continued sparring. He didn't knock him out, he didn't hit the floor, but he was really hurt. Dubois probably could have hit him again and knocked him out, but he chose not to out of respect. Eyewitness testimony. So Joshua was hurt. I think we knew he was hurt. How badly he was hurt? I'm not sure if he was hurt as bad as Anthony Fowler is saying. Because, like, if you get that hurt in sparring, they don't let you carry on for that day. There's just no point. It's sparring. It's not an actual fight. If you get really hurt, you won't spar for the rest of the day. Joshua, he always denied he got knocked out. But at the same time, he didn't say he was hurt either. He said he took a good shot, but he was still on his feet. And sometimes boxers either don't acknowledge how hurt they've been or how bad a beating they've took was, or they stay in denial. What this tells us is Anthony Joshua can be flawed, he can be hurt, he can be stopped. But so can Daniel Dubois. A few people have said Dubois has the edge in punching power. Joshua probably puts his shots together better. Now, who is this story more important to is the question. Is it more important to those betting money on the fight, those rooting for Dubois, those rooting for Joshua? Or is it important to the two fighters? Does Daniel need the confidence that, yeah, I hurt Anthony Joshua in a sparring session, almost knocked him out? In Daniel's mind, he's thinking, if I did it once... Come on, let's do it again now! And what about Joshua? Are all the memories flooding back? Is he going to get PTSD when Daniel hits him? Or is he thinking, well, that happened then. It's not going to happen on the 21st of September. Does Joshua want payback? That Daniel got the better of that sparring session and hurt him? I expect Joshua to win, but I'm wary of Daniel's tenacity and power. And that's what makes it a good fight. That's the type of fights you want to take if you want to be considered a heavyweight with a great resume. If AJ pushes Daniel onto the back foot, Daniel will be in serious trouble. And if Daniel can find another one of them left hooks he found in the sparring session, AJ himself will be in trouble. If Daniel just tries to bulldoze Anthony Joshua and makes himself predictable, I don't see him winning. He's going to need some skills. The footwork is where Daniel is most likely to lose it. If he's just a sitting target, he's going to have to gamble on the odds that, okay, the likes of Fraser Clark says he hits harder. A few people have said he hits harder. But it's a big gamble that his connect rate with power punches will be higher, anywhere near as high as Joshua's. Daniel might get a little reckless. He might get reckless in there. Try and put his cranium, as Daniel is the shorter man, into Joshua's face. Similar like he did to Hrgovic. And any other rough tactics he can get away with, he will likely have to resort to. I don't believe he's nowhere near as good a boxer as Anthony Joshua. I don't believe he's nowhere near as good a boxer puncher, more importantly, as Anthony Joshua. Daniel, they talk about Daniel's jab, and it is a hard thumping jab, but it's a jab which is effective when he comes forward and doubles it up. But does he have a defensive jab if he's forced onto the back foot? I feel Joshua has more levels with his jab. He may not come forward using the jab as well as Daniel, but he uses it well to the body, to the head. Probably a little more versatile than Daniel with the jab, and he has the longer reach. Joshua has two ways he can fight. He can gamble in a shootout with Dubois, or he could put that jab on Daniel like Joyce did and put them 1-2s on him, and Joshua's right hand is about 99.9% more developed than Joyce's, and that could be a slow, painful one if they aim for the eye. Maybe Daniel gets PTSD. Looking forward to it. I expect Daniel's youth, aggression, and power to keep him in contention. He's won his last two on attrition. The last one in particular, Hrgovic took a lot of punches and broke Hrgovic's heart. It's a risky strategy, if it was a strategy. I don't think it was a strategy. He didn't deliberately take all them right hands from Hrgovic. Had to weather the storm. It looked touch and go early, though, whether he was going to get out of that one without taking the worst of it. Can he do that against Joshua and get the victory? That would be impressive. But I'm picking AJ to win it. Anywhere inside 12 rounds.
Just finished a lovely little run in the bay with the lads.
What's up?
Working away, chipping away nicely. December 21st. USYK, you're on notice. Come on!
Hey, my friend Greedy Belly. Continue training. I'm Rez, brother. I know. You hard work. It's good. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Greedy Belly. You my friend. You are my friend.
Undisputed heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk will be in attendance on the 21st at Wembley, taking a break from training camp, and he loves London, ramping up speculation that the winner out of Dubois versus Joshua will take on the winner out of Fury versus Usyk. It's a long way back for the loser of either fight. A long way back. I mean, but that's what it's all about. Elite level, putting it all on the line. The last time Usyk faced an opponent who wasn't British was 2019 when he beat Chaz Witherspoon. 6 of his last 7 opponents would have been British. 7 out of his last 8 would have been British when he takes on Tyson Fury. He's just feasting on us Brits right now. The undisputed champion obviously has the momentum. I really like the fact that we're preparing for December the 21st. It's a good date. It's a good month. When it suggested that Tyson Fury might pull out again, he said, oh no, the ball's in our court this time. There will be penalties. They both have contracts up till December the 31st. If he pulls out December the 21st, he'll lose all his dividends and money and won't remain a man of his word anymore.
Boxing. Beats and rhymes. Boxing. Beats and rhymes.
Kevin Ioli talking about the wildfires in California, traveling all the way through to Vegas. He says really bad smoke here in Vegas from the California wildfires. Wonder how the poor air quality will, if at all, impact the fighters as they make their final preparation for Saturday's big shows. Canelo versus BERLANGA, obviously. BERLANGA looks considerably bigger. Not looks, he is considerably bigger. He doesn't look phased, he doesn't look scared. Looks like a bit of a tough guy, but no one's giving him much of a chance. I think he's going to be tougher than what they're saying, though. I don't think it's going to be a case where Canelo has it all his way and it's not competitive. Berlanga is rough, he's tough, dirty, and perhaps that's what he's going to bring to the table. You know, not make it a finesse fight. I haven't purchased the pay-per-view yet. I probably am going to, reluctantly. But I do like watching Canelo fight, and I actually don't mind the fight. And probably wouldn't have had so much to say if he committed to some of the opponents that the boxing fans outside of his fan base are asking for. At least try and make the Benavidez fight. Try and make the Crawford fight. Try and commit to something. Give us something to look forward to. But I'm probably going to buy the pay-per-view, depending on how I feel weekend time. People are speculating on what numbers it's going to do. I don't think it's going to do huge numbers. I don't think it will crash either. But I think he's on shaky ground after this fight here. If he picks his opponent according to who he wants more than what the fans want to see. Leonard Ellerbe representing the PBC and Canelo, I'm guessing, and Eddie Hearn representing Oscar, Edgar, BERLANGA and Matchroom. They pulled up on each other at the presser. And of course, it was all cordial. It was all friends. They're going to have a bet on a fight that's probably never going to happen between Shakur Stevenson and Tank. Leonard, very strong in his convictions that Shakur cannot beat Tank.
So thank you to everyone that's watching. This is last minute, so I'm expecting people to load up as we go through. Eddie, I've got to ask you, first and foremost, the PBC collaboration. I nearly fell off my chair when I woke up and I got up to you and Leonard Ellerbe practically arm in arm. That was just phenomenal. Talk to me about that collaborative working.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually just doing an interview, so I didn't even take any notice because I thought it was one of Edgar's lot mucking around. So I just didn't flinch or do anything. And then he kind of kept it there for about 10 seconds. And then when I finished, I turned around and it was Leonard. And I just went, Leonard! And he went, hey! And it was like, just from there, it's very different to, obviously, if I turn around at that point and go, what the fuck are you doing? Get your hands off me.
You're setting the tone.
I'm not really, that's not really my style. And
a lot of people are saying that Leonard buckled when he saw Eddie Hearn. In all fairness, yeah, Leonard gave Hearn and all the other promoters their props. Earlier this year, on a Riyadh season card, he gave Eddie Hearn his due. So all this, he crumbled when he saw Hearn, that's a load of bollocks. Yeah? And I'm not simping for Leonard. I'll tell you it as it is, as the facts stand up. Evander Holyfield, obviously seeing that Mike Tyson, 58, is going to fight Jake Paul, 27 years of age, on November the 15th, has got the bright idea to call out KSI to make a similar fight. Holyfield is now 61, KSI is 31. Now, the last time I see Holyfield fight, that was a few years back against Vitor Belfort. And he didn't go very well for him. And Vitor is an MMA fighter. But I think most of you follow the channel for long enough know my take. I don't have no problem with the fight. I have no problem. I've always been of the opinion that there's enough mad things in the world for me, you, and anyone else to focus on, rather than people exercising their free will however they see fit, as long as it doesn't harm others. KSI's management got all moralistic about it. If it was two fighters evenly matched, then we'd be all up for it. Well, on this dipsticks, misfits, whatever they call it, there's a lot of inexperienced fighters going in that ring. I question how much PED testing is done. And I'm not saying that to say shut it down. No, I'm just saying I see KSI fight two guys in one night. And both of them were horrible fighters. If you can fight them, then you can fight Evander Holyfield as far as I'm concerned. Because either one of them could have got hurt pretty badly. What about when they paired up the two morbidly obese guys to fight?
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.
Get down, everybody.